morning, everyone. I'm sitting here working out some chord progression here, or a little ditty, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of fun, and I think it can be as complex as you want it, or it can be as simple as you want it. But I'll show this to you in just a moment. But first, I wanted to show you a little show and tell here. Remember show and tell? We used to do I liked show and tell when I was a kid. I would always bring something of grand interest, even if it was an apple from the apple tree. Anyways, but what I have here is something that I picked up when I was at Klein's in Sacramento. Just recently I visited that store. I have a video out on it. And it's an old store. It has been there, I thought it was something like 70 years. It's there for the community. Great store. Really enjoyed visiting there. But while I was there, I picked up an inline tuner. And actually the reason why I got it is because it's relatively inexpensive. I mean, I say that this was $39, but when you look at some of the others that are put out, some of the ones that are very well known, they are running closer to $100. So I thought, oh, I'll get it and check it out and see if it works. And I actually tested it out. I plugged it into my little Gibson, and it is extremely responsive. This is called the OnStage GTP 7000. I mean, it's very fast. You know how sometimes when you try to tune something and it just lags and it's like takes forever? It's not true with this little thing. It actually does a great job. It's got a color display, so when you turn it on, you can see how it works. You can change the pitch on it if you want. Whatever the range is, there's some adjustments you can make for your tuning. You have the ability to add a flat to your tuning as well. And then you have a true bypass. It works by plugging it into a 9-volt, but it actually works very well. So I'll daisy chain this into a board that I'm working on for acoustic guitar that I'm going to use just at home. I have pedal boards in both campuses that I play at. And I like to have one here too, because sometimes it's nice to carve out your sound. Like today, I'm just using a preamp, and it's going into the Bose. And actually the Bose has a preamp in it too, but it's not as extensive as the little LR bags I have. I have a little more ability to bring in some presence and to make some adjustments on the gain and things that I can't do on the Bose. The Bose, though, is absolutely fantastic amplifier. So it's kind of nice to have that little extra ability to just, what I'm listening to, I want to be able to dial out. It's very difficult sometimes to get a really nice sound on an acoustic guitar. But if you have the right tools, you can dial it in. This sounds really nice, I think. It's very natural. So there you have it. But I just thought I'd show that to you. I'm going to unplug this right now, but I thought I'd show it to you. It's called the OnStage. It's $39. It's a mini pedal tuner. Doesn't take up a lot of real estate on your pedal board. You can use it as a true bypass. Put it right in the front as the first pedal going into your pedal board, and do your tuning on the fly. It's very, very nice. I really like it. So I'm glad I purchased it, and I'll be using that quite soon. So that's it for my show and tell. So let's get into this little riff that I have. That's what we're going to go over. Now, it looks a little bit complex, but it's really not. And I'm going to try to get a little closer. I'm here, I have my my Corcoran guitar here. This is a beautiful redwood top. This is all handmade. Has a cantilever neck, meaning that the neck is off the body. You can see right underneath the neck extension, the fingerboard extension here. Beautiful red rosewood back and sides. Has beautiful binding. It's looks to me like a maple, flamed maple binding. It doesn't have markers, so what I did was I taped the edge here with some orange binding tape, so it'll come off without hurting the paint or anything. But I know some people like to have a reference when I'm teaching, so I went ahead and put a little piece of tape here on the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th, and so that should be able to help you out a lot to know where I'm at quickly. Okay, so let's get started. So there's 2 things I want to show you before we move into that, and that's this little walk down, and I also have one here right next to it, and actually I reversed this one. Okay, but let's just learn it going the pattern walking down. And basically I'm on the 7th fret when I start out. I put my pointer finger on the 3rd string. This is going to count 1, 2, 3, count this way up to 6. So on the 3rd string, and it'll be the 7th fret. And then on the 1st string, 7th fret, put your middle finger. And so now when I pluck, I make sure that these 3 fingers are going to be dedicated to strings 3, 2, 1. And the thumb's responsibility is strings 4, 5, and 6, okay? So when you're playing a chord, okay, so that's the way this works. The thumb is taking care of these 3 strings, fingers taking care of 3, 2, 1, okay? The thumb does a lot of the bass work. Okay, so that's what we're gonna work with here. So now we know we put our fingers on the 7th fret, 3rd string is the pointer finger, 1st string is the middle finger, and you're only gonna play string 3 and 1. String 3, string 1, and then back down 1 fret, and then back down 1 fret, string 3 and 1 again, and then we go to the next chord, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's a G chord. Okay, so that's the first one, and then your chord. All right. So now the next one that I wanted you to know, I'm not doing these in sequence of the progression. I'm just showing them to you so we know about them before we get started. So this one is just like this one, except you just move over a set of strings. So now instead of your middle finger being on, or your pointer finger, whatever one you use, being on the 3rd string, it's now going to be on the 4th string, and your middle finger will be on the 2nd string. And then you do the same thing. So it's 4, 2, string 4, string 2, string 4, string 2. And then you go to your chord, which in this case is going to be a D7th. It's the shape of a C7th, or a C with your pinky finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. That's a C7th. So you move it up 2 frets. Guess what? You have D7th. Okay. So, okay. Except I'm reserving the right to reverse that. Okay, and you'll see as we move along why, okay? All right. So now we got that part down. Are you clear with that? Or move over a set of strings. So you got a of little walk downs there that you can work with. And they work really well with this chord progression and many others, as a matter of fact, because they sound very nice. It's just really neat to know, okay? But it works very well. That one right there works really, really well with a G. And this one right here works great with a D7th. But it also works with a C7 if you move it down 3 frets. Okay? All right. We won't go into all the different places that'll work, but I did want you to see that. Now let's get started. So the first chord in our progression, after we come out of this, is a G. Okay? I like to bar the G. Okay? And so to bar it, you just take your pointer finger and on the edge of your finger, not the side and not the flat, but just the edge of it, holding your elbow in and your palm away from the fingerboard. Okay, you're going to place your finger on that 3rd fret, and then these 3 fingers are going to make the shape of an E, just like an E, except you're going to make it here. That's a G, okay? It's a barred G. Or you can do the G 7th, okay? Simply by picking up the pinky, because that's an E7th, right? So now you got the shape of the E7th. Or you can do a hammer-on with that. It's really nice to know all these things and to build strength in your hands to learn how to do these bar chords. But now, if you just simply can't do it, and some people can't do it because, you know, they might have some kind of a disability or something. So, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you an alternative. Hold on 1 second. Now I have my tea. Okay, so here we go. So here's the alternative. You can just do the G chord. Or you could do this. Make the shape of the F chord at the 3rd fret. So that you can use your pinky finger on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So you pick it up, let it down. Gives a little more flavor when we play, okay? So you got this option, or you can play it. Okay, you got the G also. All right, so that's the first chord. And so then what you have to do is you've got to move up. So now I'm assuming you're barring it. Move up 2 frets to the 5th fret. And make that very same shape as down here. Because you're making an A. Here's a G. There's the A. It's the A7th actually. Okay? All right. Or if you have to go the F-shaped route, it'd be. Or. Okay? That's a G and that's an A. All right? So that's your choice. Or if you're going to just make a regular here and then go to an A chord, you could do that. Or you could, okay, all right. So that's the next chord. So we went from the walk down to a G to an A. And then we're going to go to this D7th. And then go to the G again. Okay? So the D, this chord, it doesn't, it's not barred or anything. It's just making this shape. It's like a C shape, except you put your pinky down. You can actually, there's different ways you can bring sound, flavor into it by backing up a fret and coming forward, or picking the ping. Well, actually, picking up your ring finger and reaching over and grabbing the 5th fret of the 6th string. You can do all kinds of stuff with that too. All right. And then you end it with a G. And you could go to the C ninth, but I'm just gonna leave it with a G, okay, just to make it simple. All right, so let's start from the beginning again. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Okay, so there we have it. Try it one more time. Okay, so play around with that. And that right there is called the C ninth. I'll put the chord chart up there, but basically it's the middle finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, put your pointer finger, and on the 4th string, the 3rd string, put your ring finger, the 2nd string, put your pinky finger, and those are on both on the 3rd fret. Just don't, you can just play the middle strings, leaving the high and the low E out, and you got a C ninth. Now, when I'm plucking here, I'm just pinching, because I know how to do this bar chord and this hammer on. I'm just pinching the 4th string and the low E, or the 6th string. In this case, it's not an E, it's a G, but okay. And all that noise is not just that, it's this. Okay. So, and then what I do, again, these fingers, this middle finger is picking up that 2nd string and then going to the 1st. 2nd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Okay, and that pinky. Okay, all right. So there we have it. So work on that. See what you can do with it. And it's just kind of fun to know little things like that, because you'll find they'll come in handy. You'll hear different things that you'll make different things up. You'll add to it as you go along. Even if you... So, you can do whatever you want with it, whatever you're comfortable with. Just work on those chords and see what you can carve out with it. You don't have to do exactly the same way. There's no copyrights on any of this. It's just stuff we're making up and having some fun with it. Okay? All right. So I'm going to leave it right there. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.